right, everybody, welcome. Thank you very much for coming. Welcome to beautiful Lakeview Farms Pickleball Retreat in Moneta, Virginia. If you have not been here before, you're missing out. Sign up for a time to come in the future. So we primarily use this for pickleball training and vacationing. Multi-families come here. People come and play pickleball from all over, not only the United States, but from all over the world to come and play pickleball 24/7. Because just like me, they have OPD. That's not OCD. That's not where you wash your hands a lot. OPD, obsessive pickleball disorder. Who here has that? Woo! Yeah. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you who do not know, I'm not from around here. I get that a lot. I go down to the hardware store and said, hey, Jimmy, I need two 2x4s delivered to my place, 450 Holyfield Lane, by tomorrow, 10 a.m. And Jimmy looks at me and says, ma'am, you're not from around here, are you? I was born and raised in Los Angeles. I'm a city girl trying to become a country folk. How am I doing? All right. I'm trying to become a country folk by having a free event in my barn. All right. Can I get an amen? Good. Now, collection plates. Pass the collection plates. Get her done. That's right. So I was one of 8. I had 7 brothers and sisters, and I am here to testify 8 is enough. It is enough. You know how I know it's enough? When I was 7, somebody got a bigger cookie than me. I can't remember. It was one of my brothers or sisters. I had so many, I got them all confused. But I did not get the cookie that I wanted. And I was fuming mad. And I said to myself, Self, you will go and pack your pajamas and put them in your school backpack and run away to teach your family a lesson. So I went into my bedroom and I packed my school bags full of tennis shoes and my pajamas and clothes for the next day, and I marched right on over to my next door neighbors. And we were playing in his room, and the whole time we were playing, I'm thinking to myself, oh, my family's frantic, and they're going to be wondering where they are, and they're probably going to call 911, and I'm going to see police going up and down. They're going to be so sorry they stole my cookie. Boy, oh boy, are they going to be mad. And just to punish them, I'm going to stay out all day. So I stayed out past lunch, and I stayed out past dinner. And then when I decided that I'd punished them enough, I marched into the house. Nobody even noticed I had been missing. Nobody had been out looking for me. That's when you know 8 is enough. So if you don't know my better half, stand up. Oh Lord, see? Now you know where I stand, because you saw it when I addressed her. She'd address me back with, oh Lord. See? That's how I know we're in good standing. So most of you know we're opposites in every way, right? I'm a people person. Deb is, well, a pandemic person. I would have to remind her every single day that the world was having a big pandemic and everything was closed and people were staying indoors. And she said, and that's bad. Why? She's such an introvert. Most people have never heard her even say two words. A friend of mine, when they first met her, they said, Kristie, it's so great. Where did you meet someone who's a deaf mute? That's a true story. Remember that? Hi, Jan. So we're such opposites in every way. I can never sleep. This is me. I go to bed. This is me. I should rewrite the Constitution. I should write the governor. I should write the president. I should write the president of France. He looks like an interesting guy. I should write a TV show. I should write a book. Who should I call tomorrow? What lesson plan can I have for my beginners to torture them? And this is Deb. And that's before she even reaches the bed. You know how people say, like, oh, what's your superpower? Well, everybody knows my superpower is talking. Deb's superpower is sleeping. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so amazing that while I'm laying there in bed, rewriting history, rewriting the Constitution, and writing every political figure on the planet, Deb is not only sleeping, but this is how she sleeps. I'm a good sleeper. I'm sleeping good. I'm good. She giggles all night long, interspersed with phrases, because she knows it's true. I don't make this stuff up. All night long, while I lay there in torturous insomnia, she's like, I'm sleeping. It feels so good. I'm sleeping so good. You know how I know Deb loves me? She sees right through my act and still enjoys the show. Give it up for Deb. Give it up for Deb. Yeah, so if you think coming to my pickleball classes is hard, you should try being married to me, right? But there are perks to being married to a pickleball instructor. Just the other day, I was up before her because I sleep until the crack of 6 and she sleeps until the crack of noon. I'm laying there reinventing the world and changing everything in the world. And she wakes up and she says, honey, I need your help. And I mean, I really, really need your help. I've decided that I need a better serve. I really need to work on my serving. And I said, well, it's a good thing you are married to a pickleball instructor. Just one moment. Let me write a lesson plan for that. I got it. I've written an entire lesson plan that will improve your serving like nobody's business. It will begin right now. I'm going to lay here, you whip something up in kitchen and serve me in bed. Then I'm going to go lay out by the pool and serve me by the pool. Then you can serve me dinner while I'm watching my favorite TV show. And if you serve me 3 times a day, 7 days a week, you will be the best server, no doubt about it. So a lot of people have asked me, how on earth did I get here? Well, I introduced you to my beautiful daughter earlier, and she is the root cause of all evil. Or is the best thing that happened in my life and brought me to Virginia. So let me tell you that story. Brianna played volleyball, and when she was in high school was a recruit and got offers from many universities. And one day she said, Mom, I don't know how you're going to feel about this. You're probably going to think I'm crazy. And I just said, stop right there. I know you're crazy, so go on. And she says, I've committed to Virginia Tech. And I said, why on earth would you want to go play volleyball in a cow field? I had no idea why she would want to go play volleyball in a cow field. So I said, well, honey, you're very, very young, and 2 things are going to happen. Either you'll regret it now or regret it later. So don't worry. Just go ahead and go. Commit there. You'll just regret it either sooner or later. And she said, Mom, I don't know what you're worried about. I'll be back in 4 years. No problem. So, yeah, right. So I said, all right, well, she'll go there. She'll be miserable, but then she's going to get to hear, I told you so, and wow, Mom, you were right. And those are words I love to hear. So I'll go ahead and let her go and have this experience and then come crawling back home where I can comfort her and put her back into my house where she belongs. So finally it comes time to have her official visit. I had never been to Virginia before. I'm not 100% sure I would be able to pick it out on a map, but I do know it was connected somewhere on the eastern seaboard. So Deb and Brianna and I flew into Charlotte, and people always say, why'd you fly into Charlotte? Honestly, I thought Charlotte was in Virginia. And I thought that was the closest airport. So when I made the reservations, I actually thought I was flying in to the airport that was right next to Virginia Tech. So we get packed, and I said, boy, I don't know about this. I cannot believe you're going to Virginia Tech. So far away from Mom, I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know what's going to happen. So we arrive at Charlotte, and boy, oh boy, I noticed right away things are different. First thing I noticed, it wasn't crowded. Second thing I noticed is I got in the rental car, and there weren't even people to check you out. you could just go to a rental car and drive off the lot. I'd never seen anything like that before. I was like, wow, let's get 5 more cars. This is fun. So I get on the open highway, and I was like, I had never in my life seen a freeway where you could see the road and no cars. I was in heaven. I was flying down the road. Woohoo! And then I saw the sign, welcome to Virginia. That's when I realized I didn't fly into Virginia. First time it dawned on me. We're flying up and over the ridge. I'm probably doing 80, 90. I take air, go down the other side, and then, woo, 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 woo. I said, oh, man. Oh, I look in my rear view mirror, and this is what I see. You know that state trooper hat? And he leans over and he says, ma'am, I've been waiting for you all day long. And I said to him, well, I got here as fast as I could. So we got to Virginia Tech. My daughter ended up absolutely loving it. Hence, she never came home, right? She went to Virginia Tech, got her bachelor's, got her master's, got her man, got her job, and then said, adios, mamacita. And she never came home. So, at that time, I was a special ed teacher for Los Angeles Unified School District. That's a fun time. That's a show for another night. I did survive the war, and they were offering me an early retirement. So by the time it came for me to retire, since our daughter never came home, I said to Deb, well, we've been going to Virginia and watching the seasons, and we're going there longer and longer. How about we just get a little place in Blacksburg and call it a life? So my wife, being who she is, agreeing to anything, you know, I don't know. I can't believe she agreed to marry me, but you can see how flexible and easygoing she is. So she says, okay. So we buy a little place in Blacksburg, and then bam, the pandemic hits. Now I'm stuck in a college town, and the college closes to on-campus activities and classes, which means there's no employment for any grocery store, restaurant, or facility. So now we're in Blacksburg, and the entire town is shut down. I couldn't go outside. I don't know what was happening out there, but I believe we were the only ones in Blacksburg during the pandemic, and I got so bored. I was pacing back and forth. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? And my wife was like, oh, pandemic, pandemic, pandemic. Woo! An introvert's dream. So I said one day, honey, I have this bright idea. While you were sleeping and going, I'm sleeping, I'm such a good sleeper, I was trying to think of some way to entertain myself, and I said, honey, I've got a great idea. I picture this. We'll buy a big piece of property somewhere, and it'll have a lot, like I want a water feature, like maybe a lake or a pond or a pool, but definitely a water feature. And some way to play pickleball. Maybe we could, put some tape on the asphalt and play pickleball, or I don't know, it needs some sort of way to play pickleball. And then what we'll do is, I have this dream. I have a dream, which quickly became Deb's nightmare, to buy a piece of property and open a pickleball resort. And when I was done with my speech, this is her on her computer. Yes, dear. Okay. Whatever you say. Because that's how we have conversations all the time. She never knows what the hell we conversed about all day long, because she just really wants to be on her computer and be left alone. So this is how I remember it. Oh, honey, I think that's a terrific idea. It would be a way to entertain yourself and give back to the community, and I would give any amount of money to see you happy. That's how I remember the conversation. I think Deb remembers it like this. What? No, hell no. But I'm going with my version. So I look up online and I see this property. And I said, honey, I've found it. This is the place. And I said, it's like an hour and 40 minutes away on some lake I never heard of. But I remember I said I wanted something on a lake, so it has that, and it has a pond, and it has a pool. The trifecta, it has 3 water sources, and it's on a lot of acreage. I can just see the dream. So we come down there, and there's the realtor that we'd never, ever met before. And Deb and I came to the property, and I walked right up to the barn. I opened the doors. This used to be a plumbing warehouse. So it was floor to ceiling with plumbing supplies and plumbing materials. And I just measured this way and that way. And then I said, it's the exact dimensions that we need for an indoor pickleball court. It is a divine sign that we need to buy this place. And I remember saying to the realtor, okay, we'll take it. And then, of course, she said, you're not from around here, are you? And I distinctly remember her saying, but don't you want to see inside? And I said, oh, I don't care what the inside looks like. I only care that this is the perfect dimensions for a pickleball barn. She said, pickle what? I said, pickleball barn. She said, okay. And then I said, now, you just need to get me this house because this is the one. I can feel it. I saw a vision. I saw a dream. This will be the perfect pickleball resort. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk to you again. I just want you. This house must be mine. And she said, yes, ma'am. I'll make it happen. And about 40 days later, we moved in. So one of the reasons that I wanted to have this tonight is because everybody here in some way, in some form, helped us get this pickleball place ready, helped us open, helped get the houses open, helped us when we had guests, helped us renovate there was a lot to do, and it was definitely a team effort, and I wanted to say thank you because it has been an absolute wild success story, if I don't say so myself. So,
in spite of Deb.
Deb is still sticking to her story that she said no. All right, so now we've gone from living my entire life in Los Angeles to living in a college town of Blacksburg where it was vacant when we moved there, to now buying an agricultural piece of property, which I didn't even know what A1 stood for. I thought it came with steak sauce. I had no idea what A1 meant. But I was told that meant you could have like cows and horses. Well, I said, no thanks. My neighbors have some, and looking at them from here is just about right for me. So then we had to renovate this place and get it open and get it ready. So I thought, well, I guess we're going to be residents of Moneta. I better get settled here. We got to find an eye doctor and a dentist and, a doctor. So I look on the internet, and there's a doctor down the street at the medical center. And I thought, all right, well, I don't have any pressing medical needs at the moment, but it's always good to introduce yourself, see how that is, and get established. So I make an appointment, and I go in, and super nice doctor. They ran a whole bunch of tests. They weighed me. They took my height. They took my blood pressure. She looked at all my lab work, and she said, well, your blood pressure's great. And your cholesterol level is terrific, and your heart sounds great, your lungs are great, but you weigh 250 pounds. So all I got to say is you're in pretty good shape for the shape you're in. So she looks at that chart and she says, let's talk about weight loss. And I said, I don't know anything about that. I don't read about it. I don't talk about it. I don't think about it. I'm sure in her mind she was like, obviously. So she said, I know that sometimes when you retire, you can get a very sedentary lifestyle. And, you don't do anything. You just kind of become a couch potato. And I'm sitting on the bench like this. And in my mind, I'm saying, is now the right time to interject? I'm a professional pickleball player. And then I thought to myself, no, this is not the right time. So I had her lecture me and say, well, I can understand some people don't like to spend money. You don't even have to go get a gym membership. You could just reach into your cupboard and get a couple of cans of corn and sit in a chair and move the cans of corn upside down. And then she has the audacity to even show me an example. Or you could sit on the edge of the bed and do this. And in my mind, I'm saying, is this the right time to interject that I live at a resort with a gym and a pool and a fitness trail and kayaks and an indoor pickleball gym? No, I think not. So she says to me, how did this happen? And I was thinking to myself, oh man, was this a test? I did not get the memo. When I checked in online, they did not say that I would be having a test. So she said, what happened? How did this happen? And I said, well, I'm an overachiever, you see, but I'm also an overeater. So this is what happens when you're an overeater, overachiever. This is the result. And she's like, well, do you have mirrors in the house? And it's funny. I said, I sure do. I don't know what her problem is. This is me. Whoops. Thank you. This is me every morning when I look in the mirror. Ooh la la! Ooh! Have a good day. No, you have a good day. You have a good day. Love you. Love you more. Love you. Love you more. You're looking good, sister. You're looking good. All right, I gotta go. You say goodbye. No, you say it first. No, you. Goodbye. Have a good day. That's what I see when I look into the mirror. So she said, clearly, you suffer from a very serious disorder called megorexia. Now, it is a very serious disorder. For those of you who do not know the definition of megorexia, that is the opposite of anorexia. That's when, no matter what the outside tells you and the mirror tells you, you think you are thin and beautiful and don't need any help whatsoever or intervention to lose weight at all. So I was like, so I have megorexia. So did you just diagnose me as just fat and happy? I'm pretty sure that I just went to the doctor and got diagnosed as fat and happy. And that is A-okay with me. So, this is the thing with me. I go to these, say the buffet back here. I went and I put one piece of thing here and one piece of thing here. And the doctors say, if you want to eat less, use a smaller plate. So I even got the hors d'oeuvre plate and not the big mega one because I wanted to just try this weight loss thing people talk about. I don't know anything about it. And I got the small plate and put a few things on and thought, well, I guess that's all I can eat because look at me. But then, Susie's sorority goes up and she just puts mounds and mounds and mounds of food, 2 plates. She can barely get away from the buffet table. And I'm thinking to myself, what the? And I look at Susie's sorority and I say, wow, must be nice. And she says, I guess I just have a fast metabolism. What? What is she talking about? A fast metabolism? What is that? I don't even know what that even is. And this is what I conjured up in my mind. Choo, 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 choo. Come in. Down there. Food. Choo, 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 choo. Over there. Choo, 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 choo. Over there. Get down a little bit. Shove it. Get tight. Nobody move. Nobody go anywhere. Oh, you're getting kind of full. Stop! Now let me show you my metabolism. I'm hungry. I want food. Open mouth wide. Come in. Everybody come in. Don't bother chewing. Swallow whole. Go anywhere you want. Make yourself at home. You'll be here a while. You're not going anywhere. What's that? You're feeling full? No. Open mouth. We always have room for more. All right, so as most of you know, I'm now a pickleball coach. Raise your hand if you've been to any of my classes, played in this gym, been to my lessons. All right! So you guys know what it's all about. Right, so...
Some of us more than others.
Yes. And some of us still have a long way to go. So for my beginner classes, I sit everybody in a circle and I say, boys and girls, we're going to do a very simple exercise. We're going to throw a beanbag up in the air and then you're just going to gently catch it on your paddle, just like this. And then everybody looks at me with absolute terror. I think they thought I said, do this. So, this is them. Uh-oh. So,
that is chasing the bag.
Yes. So throw it up with your non-dominant hand and catch it with your paddle. Go ahead, Susie. Go ahead. You can do it. Come on, Susie. Come on, Susie. All right. So, you guys know that I'm a hard taskmaster, right?
Yeah.
Right? And in pickleball, we have a lot of buzzwords and a lot of phrases to keep us remembering what to do, where to be, right? So, when I first started playing pickleball, first rule is the best shot you can make is the one that you don't have to hit, right? Everybody understand that, right? If it's going to be out, let it go. Use Neo, Keanu Reeves. And then when you first start playing, you say, well, I don't know, was that going to be in or out? I should have let it go. No, you should have hit it. Finally, they just said to me, look, if it's above the tit, don't hit. And that worked 5 years ago, but now my tits are hanging down to here. So now I'm letting all these balls at my waist go by, and they're landing in. They didn't tell me when they told me about that rule that it had an age limit. Either that or I got to get a better bra, because now I let balls go that I think are, above the tit, but they were just about my knee height. And then there's that shot, right, that everybody says, oh, to solve the riddle, hit it in the middle. To solve the riddle, hit it in the middle. And I get it, right? And we call that the marriage shot. That was yours. No, that was yours. Oh, that was your forehand, but it was closer to you, right? I refer to that as the divorce shot. Right? It's not the marriage shot. That's the shot that leads every couple to a divorce. I can just see a pickleball couple in marriage counseling. I can envision it right now. This is the therapist. All right, thank you for filling out all the forms. And thank you again for listing all of your activities and schedule. So now I can get a better idea of what your life is like and what you're doing. Let's see. I see here that on Monday you play pickleball. Okay, all right. And on Tuesday you play pickleball. Am I right? And on Wednesday you play pickleball. And Thursday and Friday you play pickleball. Okay. Oh, and Saturday morning and Saturday evening you play pickleball. Well, I have been a marriage and family therapist for 25 years. I can tell you right now, I think your marriage needs more balance. And immediately they say, you're right, we need to also play on Sunday. Or then they start to say to the therapist, well, what I think is our problem is we don't have very good communication. And the therapist inevitably would say, well, what do you mean? Well, he calls the ball, so then I get out of the way, and then he doesn't go for the ball, and then it goes past me, and then he says, it's your ball, and then I say, well, it's your ball, and then he said, well, you should have called it, and then I said, well, you already called it, and then you didn't listen, and that's the problem with our marriage right there. If I call the ball, then it's his ball, and if he called the ball, then it's my ball, and if I called the ball, I wasn't calling enough, and it wasn't my ball, and it wasn't the right time, and the therapist is like, whoa, stop right there. Clearly, you have a communication problem. But is this only during pickleball? And they looked at the therapist. Well, that's all we do, is play pickleball. So the therapist says, well, is there anything else that is important that you want me to know about your marriage? And the wife says, well, I mean, really, I like it slow, and I like it gentle, and I like it soft. And the husband's like, and I like it hard and fast. And the therapist says, are we still talking about pickleball? Because I don't know. And then I know this other couple, that's all they do. They play pickleball. But lately, her husband hasn't been out. I said, hey, Carol, where's your husband? Oh, he's not. He's having some health issues. He can't come out as much. But it's okay. That gives me a time to play with my ladies 7 mornings a week. I play with this group of ladies this day, and the next day I play with this group of ladies, and then I play with my, in-town girls this day. And it's pretty good. It works out okay. He, just stays at home and does his own thing, golfing with his buddies. And I just have my pickleball thing 7 days a week, and I'm good with it. It's all working out good. But then Carol and her husband went to the doctor. And the doctor ran a whole bunch of tests. And he looked at the chart. And he said, Carol, can I speak to you in the other room in my office in private? And she went to his office. And he said, Carol, I've got good news and bad news. I'll tell you the bad news first. your husband is going to die. But the good news is, if you just sacrifice yourself and your schedule and take care of him and cook him all his meals and do all his laundry and make sure he just doesn't ever get up and do anything and just lays on the couch all day long, you could prolong his life for 10 or 20 years. So it's fine. So Carol says, all right, thanks, doctor. I thank you so much for, being honest with me. Thank you so much. So she goes and gets her husband, and it's very quiet on the way home. And finally the husband says to Carol, well, what did the doctor say? You're gonna die! All right, so as you guys know, my job is to just be an observation, right? I stand off to the side and I say the exact same things over and over and over again. Serve and stay.
What's your point?
Do not come in to the court. Serve and stay. And then he serves it and runs in. And then they return the ball right into his lap and he's like, ah! And then he looks at me and says, what happened? What happened? You need to serve and stay. And then the person returning it returns it and stands there and analyzes and watches. And by that time, 5 hits have taken place, and she was never anywhere up in the court where she needed to be. And she said, what happened? And I'm like, serve and stay, return and run. Serve and stay, return and run. Over and over, 100 times a day. Same people, same thing, over and over and over and over and over. So he serves, and I pull the back of his shirt so he stays. And then I run over there, and she returns it. Then I push her into the court to remind her to return and run. And then, it all goes to hell with that third shot drop. Every time. I don't even bother. That third shot drop's going up high and fast so they can smash it. And then everybody on the court looks at me like it was my fault. Like, what happened? Here we go again. Serve and stay. Return and run. Third shot drop. And let me define that for you. Slow and low in the kitchen. Oh! Is that what you've been meaning these 65 lessons we've taught? Yeah, that's what I've been meaning. So this is what I've decided. I say the same things over and over to the same people over and over. And really, isn't it the definition of insanity when you do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result? So, yeah, basically, I'm a teacher of the insane. Because really, they just do the same thing over and over and over, and I say the same thing over and over. So I got this group of 8 that come, right? There's 4 couples. They come, they booked a lesson with me way, way back, and I met them all, very, very nice couples. And I gave them a couple of lessons, and then 2 of the couples, they call me, and they say, we're getting a little upset that the other 2 couples are getting better than us. We would like to schedule some lessons, just the 4 of us, but don't tell the other couples. We would like our own separate lessons on a different day so that we can feel more competitive with the other couples. Okay, all right, that's fine. But don't tell the other couples. Just come. Okay, so let me get this straight. You want to come on Wednesday night as a group, and then you want to come Friday morning as just the 2 couples, but don't tell the other couple. Yeah, okay. I hang up. 30 minutes later, who do you think I get a call from? The other 2 couples call. All right, we're feeling like we've got an edge, but it's not the edge we're looking for. We would like to book some lessons, but don't tell the other group. We would like to book these lessons, but we don't want you to tell the other group. So now I've got them 8 of them coming together on Wednesday night, and half of the couples coming on Friday night, the other half coming on Monday morning, And what do you think happens after the first week? Yeah, Now the two couples that come on Friday are calling me separate saying, don't tell the other couples, but when we had a lesson, just the two couples and I, we feel like they know more and they're progressing faster than us. So we want a lesson separate from our Friday group, separate from the Wednesday group, but don't tell everybody in the Friday group and the Wednesday group, we'd like your Thursday morning spot. My sister called me the other day, she said, you are teaching lessons from 7 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. You must have 150 students. I said, no, man, I got 8 students, and they take every spot I got. They're coming as a group, then they're coming as half a group, then they're coming as individual couples, and now I got the wife saying, don't tell my husband. But can I get a private lesson? I figure my little black book, is probably more valuable than Heidi Fleiss. If people could see, and I have to tell Deb, I said, you're going to see cars driving down the driveway. Do not look out the window. Do not come to the barn and say hi, because you cannot be trusted to live in the down low place that I live in. Because Deb has been trusted to come and say hello and then blown it when she said, you're here again? You were just here yesterday. Sometimes I'm like, oh, lesson's over. Get out. I said, Deb, is there any way we can just have a one-way driveway where I can have everybody come in one way but exit a separate way? Because I got secret people meeting secret people coming in and out. And it's not like they can say, I don't know, I'm lost. I don't know how I got here. I must be lost.
Yeah, but I bet they're really good now.
Yeah, I would say speak for yourself, but no. Don't speak for yourself. And in case you haven't learned, never try to heckle me. Because I'm smarter and faster and better at pickleball than you. Well, yes, you saw my daughter and I are a spitting image of each other. I'm beautiful. You saw? I'm beautiful. So I've decided that everybody who comes into this place, the Pickle Barn, has almost the exact same stereotypes. I can just lump them in, all right? And you know who you are, so I don't need to name names. First stereotype I would like to introduce is happy feet. This is the person that has a contagious disease called happy feet.
I'm glad she's not looking at me.
Here they are at the kitchen. 002, begin. Excuse me. Your feet were moving. No, they weren't. Yes, they were. No, I was standing like this, I swear it. And in their mind, I know they believe that. So I said, okay, I must be mistaken because it's just my job to sit here and stare at your feet for 2 hours while you pay me. So let's begin again. Are you ready? Happy feet? Yes. 002. And then you know what they say when the lesson's over. Can I book a private with you? I feel like my paddle's not in the ready position, and when the ball comes to me, it's like I'm never ready to hit it back. Get in line. I have a lot of private spaces booked. Okay. The next stereotype, octopus hands. This is octopus hands. They are at the kitchen in ready position. 002. like, whoa, stop. I'm pretty sure I know why your paddle's not in front of you and you're not hitting the ball out in front of you. I'm pretty sure I know why. Your hands are moving all over. They're flailing like you've got 8 arms. No, I'm not. Yes. Did you notice that at one point the ball just came and landed on your chest and stayed there for 5 minutes? It stayed in position because your arms were moving and the ball had nowhere to go. And then, of course, after the lesson, they come up and say, I really feel like I need work on where my hands should be. Can I get a private lesson? Okay, so now we have the quintessential eye roller. And they're the easiest one for me to imitate. You ready? Imagine this. No matter what is happening on the court, no matter whether they won the point, lost the point, whether they hit the ball, their partner hit the ball, this is how they look. Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead and go whenever you're ready, because I'm always ready. And then they're like, it's weird, I have a hard time keeping my eyes on the ball. And I'm like, because they're rolled in back of your brain. The only time I look at you, I only see the whites of your eyes, because they're always rolled back. And then they're like, well, I feel like I just can't see the ball. Do you think you have room in your schedule for a private lesson? Okay, then what we have are your passive-aggressive players. And they're not the same person. They are not the same person. You have your passive players. Ready? This is what a passive player. 002. Yours? Yours? Yours! Yours! But then you have your aggressive players, right? This is an aggressive player serving the ball. They're going to put it in play, and before it even goes to anybody on the other side, 002, mine! 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 Oh, ace serve. Oh, sorry, I didn't see. One, 0-2. Mine! But I must talk about one more type of player. This is my favorite type of player. Let me set it up for you. All right. They've served the ball. They did a good job. They served it deep and they stayed. But the returner served it shallow. Their eyes get this big. And I can see it in slow motion. Dun, dun, and they're running for the ball. And I'm thinking, yeah, in slow motion, right. Stop talking about yourself, Jeff. This is my show. So you can see it happening, right? It's a shallow return. You see them running, and their eyes are this big. And I'm thinking, okay, good. They've got so many good possibilities that are a sure thing. They can drive it down the middle because nobody can get to it. They can just easily put it over here. They can do an angle. They can do that. Oh, my God, they're going to win this point. But no. They get to the ball, and without any explanation whatsoever, the ball gets to them, and they start running to chase it. And now the ball's getting away from them, and they're running as fast as they can away from there, but at the last second they smile and do this. And the ball goes like 15 feet out. And then they're like, oh, man! And I'm like, what were you thinking? You had a drive down the middle. You had a dink cross court. You had a dink. You had 5 options. What was the option you took? Well, when I got to the ball, I figured it wasn't moving very fast. And they thought I was going to just hit it straight, but then I wanted to trick them. So I started running away from them. And then when I got to the ball, I looked down and thought, wow, less than 1% chance I could just hit a liner and the crowd would go wild. I was going for the glory shot. And I'm like, what? You mean you had 5 sure things and you ran away from the ball to trick everybody and go for the glory shot? I don't have any ESPN cameras in the corner. That was not going to be a highlight on the top 10 ESPN shots of the day. But I will install a camera because if you ever do that play again, you will be on America's Funniest Home Video. The people that just go for the glory shot every single time. They have all these easy options, but they want trickery. Fool everybody. The only one that looks like a fool is them. All right. So I thought that, you know how there's the Lord's Prayer? And the Lord's Prayer is to keep us humble and remind us about the things that we need to change and the wisdom to know the difference. Well, I wrote a pickleball prayer. And I think that you should, I framed my copy. And I think everybody should have the pickleball prayer on their bed. I will read it to you now. Dear Lord, you would be so proud of me today. So far, I have attained my goals and treated everyone with kindness and respect. I haven't eye-rolled at my partner. I haven't gotten frustrated when I had to play with a new player or anyone even below my level. I haven't been impatient with someone lollygagging around or talking too much on the court. I haven't even made fun of anyone who can't seem to remember what the score is. I haven't lied about any of my line calls or argued with my opponents about their line calling. I also haven't hogged my partner's balls or consistently lobbed opponents who are disabled or injured. But best of all, I did not constantly correct my partner's play and did not once use any foul language. I am so thankful for the choices and behavior that I have shown today and for the wisdom and patience that I have displayed. I am proud of the good example that I am setting. However, dear Lord, in a few minutes, my alarm clock will go off, and I will get dressed and head out to the courts. And from then on, I will need direct divine intervention to keep up these good works, and I need all the help that I can get. Amen. I also wrote a poem. I think you'll be able to relate. A pickleball poem by Kristie MacDonald. I really should not be playing pickleball today. My back is tweaked. I'm in a lot of pain. But I just looked at the weather forecast. I have to play today. Tomorrow it might rain. I really should not be playing pickleball today because I can barely move my neck. But a text just came in and they need a 4th. So just one more day of playing, what the heck? I really should not be playing pickleball today. My plantar fasciitis is keeping me from walking. But a friend called and asked me if I could play. So of course I said yes while we were talking. I really should not be playing pickleball today. My knees are telling me to rest. But when I looked on Playtime Scheduler, only 7 players signed up, and even numbers are best. I really should not be playing pickleball today. My feet, my neck, my back have all given out. But when I heard about an opening at Kristie's clinic, I immediately signed up without a doubt. I really should not be playing pickleball today, but I just can't sit at home while the others get to play. So even if I'm in pain and can hardly move, I will procrastinate my resting for another day. So, pickleball addiction is real, and I have this fantastic idea. And don't anybody go out there and steal this idea when you leave here tonight. I will hunt you down and find you. But I'm starting a website called pickleballmatch.com. It's for all the single pickleball players out there. And if I read a bio, here's a sample of a bio on my website. A little bit about me. I enjoy playing pickleball each and every day. It is the most important thing in my life. I am competitive, but also can play a friendly game when I need to. I am comfortable with a paddle. I like to play with my local group, but enjoy the occasional pickleball tournament to spice things up. I know how to serve and stay. I know how to return and run. And I can fully commit to a third shot drop. I like romantic long rallies. And most importantly, I dink responsibly. Seeking same. All right, so I don't know if all of you have watched that show, Intervention. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about with the show Intervention. All right, so a lot of you don't know, so let me set it up for you. It's been on A&E for 27 years. 27 seasons of A. You know what? If they would just drop the show, we could get rid of addiction in America. That's what I've come down to. But I guess it's a thing. It's a real problem in America. And each episode is so intense. It's so intense. So they open this is Ken, and Ken has a heroin addiction, and it opens with him shooting heroin and falling off his chair, and then he just does heroin day and night, and then he's walking around and nearly gets run over, and the producers follow him around where whatever addiction, alcohol, heroin, cocaine, whatever it is, completely consumes their life and their behaviors, and it's all about that addiction. And the producers follow that person around day in and day out, and all day, all night, for days and days and days and days and days, until it usually gets so bad that the family stages an intervention. And that's the very last few minutes where they get tricked into going into some room, told they were going to go get score-free heroin, or, come to a party with an open bar or whatever. I don't know how they fool them for 27 years. I mean, if you're an addict, watch this show. Never enter a room where everybody you know is sitting there with something in their hand to read. And then, with tears in their eyes and tears streaming down their face, they tell that addict how that addiction has affected their life. And I am fully convinced this season on Intervention, there's going to be, this will be the narrator. This is Carol's story. She's 56 years old and is addicted to pickleball. It has completely consumed her life. Her family is worried about her. Her grandchildren are worried about her. Her church pastor has called me, worried about her, and her family would like to stage an intervention. Let's meet Carol. Hi, my name is Carol, and I'm a pickleball addict, as you can see by 7 pickleball paddles, 1 for every day of the week. And I have my indoor balls and my outdoor balls, and I carry a net with me all the time in case an open field or an open piece of concrete becomes available. I can put that net down and play pickleball. When I get up in the morning, I think about pickleball. And then I go play pickleball, and I play pickleball, and I look around the courts, and people throw pickleballs away, and sometimes they say they're cracked, but they're not. Sometimes there's still life in them. And if I give them a good look over, I can find that they're still playable for 6 more hits. So I put them in my bag for later when I need just 6 more hits. And then I don't throw them away. I keep them in my room all stacked up because I can't bury a pickleball. It's very precious. And it means a lot to me. And I carry my net everywhere I go. And then you can see the producers cut to Carol's cell phone going off on the side of the court. And then the producers will say, her children have been calling her for 7 hours straight. She's not picking up the phone. And then she finishes pickleball, looks at her phone and sees 7 missed calls and says, I just don't have time to call anybody back. My next group plays in half an hour. I've got to get there. And then you see Carol run to the next court. Hi, guys. I'm ready. Who wants to play pickleball? Don't stop. Let's play some more. I know it's raining, but we can still get in a few more games. I brought a towel. I have towels in the back of my car and a leaf blower. We can still drive the courts. Yeah, and then I have a squeegee. We'll just get the water off and drive the courts and still play. Come on, come on, come on. Who wants to play? Hurry, hurry, hurry. Have 5 minutes left to my nighttime match. And then we're just worn out watching the producers follow Carol around with her bag of balls and her bag of paddles and her net just in case an emergency pickleball game breaks out. And then you can just see that one day her niece says, Aunt Carol, we're going to have a pickleball party at my dad's house. And the only thing we're going to do is watch pickleball videos and talk about pickleball, because, you have to say that to get her to come. And she says, oh my gosh, that's so great. And then unbeknownst to everybody in the audience, Carol goes home delighted to go to that pickleball party. And then you see her walk into a room. And she sees 3 generations of everybody in her family, and they're all sitting there. And her 9-year-old granddaughter says, Nana, your pickleball addiction has affected me in the following ways. You never come to my school performances anymore. You never answer my calls. When I go to your house, you don't want to bake cookies. You want to teach me about something called a drop shot. And when I ask if we can watch a movie, you show me pickleball videos. And I hope you'll accept the help that's being offered to you today. So, this is what I've decided to do. Because I feel like I say the same thing over and over and over again, that definition of insanity, since I work with people who are insane, I've had to come up with a lot of tricky ways to teach them what they should be doing and when. So, as I told you at the beginning, I was a special ed teacher for 27 years for Los Angeles Unified School District, but what you may not know is I specialized in early intervention. So most of my clients were around 4, 5, or 6, and I thought that is the perfect background to teach pickleball players. Special ed teacher that works with kids about 4, 5, or 6. So I should go back to all my teaching tools and get them out and make a curriculum that they can understand and can remember. So, this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to teach you a catchy song, and how do I know it's catchy? Because it has 5 billion downloads on YouTube. It goes like this. Serve and stay, do 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 do. Serve and stay, do 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 do. Serve and stay, do 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 do. Serve and stay. Return and run, do 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 do. Return and run, do 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 do. Return and run, do 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 do. Return and run. Third shot, drop, do 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 do. Third shot, drop, do 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 do. Third shot, drop, do 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 do. Third shot, drop. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and having some comedy and talking about pickleball and enjoying the evening. A special thank you and shout out to everybody that supported us and helped us get this place up and running. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
I wish I brought my paddle. You could have signed that.